So we're going to use fresh cut Harvest Selects white corn on the underwater camera to see what these fish do, to see how they interact with white corn and see if we can catch something good.
And as this bait sails through the air off the coast of Navarre Beach, I do want to say that I am not the first person to use corn for bait. I believe Southern Salt, he is a YouTube channel and a Facebook page, has done it. Bearded Brad, Yakking with Jack, and Lawless Tide, and they all have caught sheephead. And we have the first curious fish, two of them, both pompano, nudged it with his mouth, interested in the Harvest Select Del Monte corn, and there is a eat right there, but he spits it right out. Another eat right here. Will he get hooked? That's the question. And that fish is hooked. Hooked on white corn. I'm sure you heard my Siberian Husky howling. Her name is Roxy. Look at this school of pompano. This fish is hooked. We still are slowed down at 1/4 the speed. And I am fishing with other rigs at the beach. There are 2 camera rigs going and 3 runt rods going. Here's full speed of the fish coming to shore. First fish I've ever seen caught using corn for bait, and maybe the first time a pompano has been caught using corn for bait. Now don't start thinking I gotta start using corn for bait. I'll share with you why in a minute. But you can catch fish and tease them and trick them with anything. But the numbers is what you want. And I'll talk to you later about what we caught from shore compared to what we caught on corn. I was using fish gum, pomp candy, and OP bait-soaked shrimp. We have a nice school of pompano traveling with ladyfish. And they are not interested in the corn or this on-demand float hook. There is a nice redfish. Look at that dot. And then we've got bluefish with redfish and pompano mixed in there as well. There he is in the background. So they will travel together as a pod. Pompano, boom, see ya. Don't think so. Bluefish not going to have anything to do with corn. They want bloody flesh. They don't want corn. We will transition to Surf Pro tackle float hooks in a minute, and they'll be lined up in frame a little bit better where we can see more. Bluefish just blazing by, and you really can't appreciate the speed of these fish. There's a little nudge by the blue because I've slowed it down, and when these fish inhale the bait, it is such a split second, and when they spit it out, it's such a split second. So you really can't appreciate it. There is a school of pompano. It looks like about 3 traveling through. Nothing to do with the corn. Here comes a pomp. Will he eat? Will he take the bait? And a little bit of the nudge of the float hook. And he's going to come back and get another opportunity. And he does eat the rig and spits it right back out. They know something is fishy with the bait, and he is gone. Now, if that were to be fish gum, OP shrimp, ghost shrimp, sand flea, they would have had more attempts at the strike. And that's one reason why we're not going to all switch to corn. It is cool to catch a fish on corn, but it is cool to know that it just means more to our fishing to know that that quality bait is what they come back and hang on to. compared to what is happening with the corn here. Here's another pompano coming in. There's such a beautiful fish. Just has nothing to do with the initial look. Second look, he inhales it. Oh, they both eat at the same time. Synchronized eating. That was pretty cool. But just not enough to hang on. Now, if that line was tight and maybe they moved a little bit away, they probably would have got a hook set on it because of the dropper getting snug. He wants another opportunity at this bait, and it's just not having the sticking power. But he is curious. That's a 3-time eater right there. Spits it right back out. Just amazing how these fish don't get hooked. Little tiny piece of corn floating away. Not enough to inhale it, bring it back to the crushers, and eat it. So this fish is done. So we've had missed opportunities. We caught one, probably missed 4 or 5. The limit of pompano in Florida is 6. Getting close. And he kind of just lips it a little bit. Nothing there. Did attempt at the strike, but did not get in a position to get hooked. Now we're switching to the float hook by Surf Pro Tackle. 2 glow white ones stringed with corn. Now what I do like about corn here is the way it looks like on the hook. It looks like ghost shrimp, because ghost shrimp is kind of just wrapped around and, you know, no indistinct way. It's just on the hook because it's so tender. So that's kind of cool to see, kind of a mimicking of ghost shrimp, although it does not taste like ghost shrimp. We've got a bluefish coming in and out of the frame. Again, we need some meat for that fish to eat. Pompano chewing the float first on the hook, not the corn first. There's a good shot of that corn strung, lined on the hook. Now that's the whole bait. It's in his mouth. Let's see if he gets hooked. He's holding on to it. And that fish is hooked. Right there in the front of the bottom lip. But watch what happens to this fish. This is actually a bigger pompano, and I'm not getting to the rod fast enough. We're going to speed this up in full frame. I also am using 12-pound fluorocarbon, and this fish is hooked. But my light leader and me kind of fighting it, not really good. This fish will pop off, and it's going to happen here in a second. And it's gone. Just like that. Broke my leader. Could have been a little nick in the leader. Always feel your leader before you put it back in there. Even that rough spot can break off. I'm going to count that as a catch because it broke off. We didn't land it. But we've got 2 fish so far on corn. And at this point, back at the beach, I've already had 3 hookups and have caught 3 fish on other rigs. Pompano coming in. Changed the float hook to an orange and white one. Smaller pompano. Bluefish. And we have a strike. A hit. And that fish is hooked. So 3rd fish caught on corn. This one will be landed. And to tell you right now, I did limit that day. I had a total of 13 hookups, 3 on the underwater camera with the corn, and the other 10 were at shore on other baits. So comparing the 2 baits, and I will show you the full catch video, but this is just the underwater video where you can see the comparison that we did catch more on fish gum and OP soaked shrimp. Again, look at that action of that float hook and the corn. It does look like it resembles ghost shrimp strung on a hook. I do like the way that we can hide the hook here. That's kind of cool with the corn. But again, don't go out and start fishing with corn surf fishing. There are other baits that are more successful than corn, but it is cool. I'm not going to downplay it. It is a cool thing to do when you can catch pompano, shockingly, on the corn. I am very excited to show you this video. It is really crazy to think that a human food can elicit a strike, but heck, fish eat lures like pompano jigs that are made out of lead. In the movement, there's no food on that jig at all. They just think it's food because of movement. Another pompano coming in, another strike, just nudged it a little bit, did not commit to it. Smaller pompano, still unsure what to do. Not even a real eat. Kind of just nudged it, testing it. More interested in eating the float than the actual corn. And we're going to see something here in a minute on this underwater film that shows you that this is not something that once they eat it, there it goes right there. There's the corn. He had the corn in his mouth. He had a chance to swallow it and eat it completely, but he spits the corn back out, showing that this really isn't a food source that they like. Because if that was something he wanted to eat, that little piece of corn would not be floating in the frame right now. But fish will eat just about anything or test just about anything if they're hungry enough. Not enough here to get that pompano turned around to eat the corn on a float hook. It blows my mind, though. I'm not going to lie. To see a bait like corn catch two pompano. I have caught pompano using garlic. I will actually do another video underwater, and instead of corn, I will use garlic cloves. What crazy bait have you used in saltwater? I've known people using bacon. Like I said before, I've used garlic and now corn and have caught some fish. These fish are not going to be interested in trying to take and eat, but they are staring, mesmerized, wondering what is on that Surf Pro Tackle float hook. Got a nice school of bluefish. Do see some pompano traveling with the bluefish. These guys are on a mission looking for small bait fish. Bluefish are delicious. You can catch them this time of year. It is December 8th in the surf in the Gulf of Mexico using an ES lure or some kind of shiny metal. What did you see today that I missed? What observations would you like to add to the knowledge and the training that we can learn from this underwater video? Please post it in the comments below. And please do me a favor and subscribe to my channel, Fish Gum, the channel. I am also on Facebook and Instagram. I hope you enjoyed this. I sure did. Underwater fishing videos are the best. Join me right here next time when we excite the strike. God bless.